Hey Beyond Decadence fans, it's Chef Maria, and I'm coming to you live on Facebook Live to walk you through another recipe that you can do while you're self-isolating with your family. I just heard recently one of my friends texted me and said that the kids are out of school until May 15th, so it sounds like they're going to be home with you for a while. So I hope you'll join me and we'll have some fun together, and I'll teach you a new recipe. A lot of the recipes will be kid friendly that you can have the kids, help you with. Some of them, depending on their level of I can't think of the word, they may be able to do themselves. But anyway, I thought this would be fun to go ahead and walk you through, and I'm just going to ask you to remember to share, like, comment on the videos if you enjoy these. I'll keep doing them until I run out of material or simply don't have the time to do them anymore, but I'm enjoying doing it as a way to connect with you guys. So please remember to, like, comment, and share, and that would be wonderful. And if you do need any desserts, my menu is available, and I'm going to be posting a weekly menu probably later tonight, so that way you'll know which items I'll have on deck each day, so that way if you place your order by 9 a.m. you can have it same day. I thought I would jump on and do the video now because I have orders to deliver tonight, but I'm waiting for them to cool so I can cut them and package them. So with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. The recipe today is Raspberry Cheesecake Dip. You get those recipes a lot of times, depending on how you have your news feed set up, from Delish. And I always read them and look at them like, yeah, that sounds good. Oh, that sounds kind of gross. Well, this one sounds kind of intriguing. The original recipe, if you want to Google it, and you'll probably get an exact hit on it, is called Cheesecake Nachos. And I read that, and I'm like, that sounds kind of cool, but I want to jazz it up a little bit. So if you want to look at it in its original form, Google Cheesecake Nachos, and it's by delish.com. So what I've done is I've changed it a little bit because I thought that would just be fun. And I'm going to teach you a few things along the way that will help you be more successful in the kitchen. So into my mixer bowl, and I have two KitchenAid mixers. This is the smaller one. This is just the one a lot of people had a sticker on it before, and so it's got sticker traces on the top that won't come off. But this is just the artesian mixer. I have it in black. It comes in a lot of different colors, and back there in the corner I have a big commercial grade one. But I thought I would use this today so I can talk and have my hands free. So in the bowl I have 8 ounces of cream cheese. And if you're going, oh my goodness, another cream cheese recipe, I hate cream cheese, bear with me. I'm not going to keep doing those all the time, and actually I'm not a big cream cheese girl myself either, but this recipe just sounded kind of cool, and so I wanted to show it to you. So this is the one that just the bowl locks in, and it's the tilt head, and then I've got my whip, and I've got my spatula ready to go. Probably looks kind of crazy holding that, so maybe I'll just kind of wipe that off and put that down. There we go. All right, then I'll attach the whip attachment. And the cream cheese has been softened, and this mixer is much quieter than the other one, so you'll hear it roar a little bit, but it's not as bad as the commercial grade one, and the commercial grade one's a much bigger bowl, and I don't need a big bowl for this one. So let me give it a little whip and get it loosened up. Stop, and I'm going to scrape it down a little bit. It's supposed to be fluffy. It's funny because I use the commercial grade or that hand whip all the time, or that Hamilton Beach electric mixer, the one I was holding in my hand, and it just seems so much more powerful. This one seems so quiet. It's kind of funny. Stop and scrape it down, and I'll show you in just a second what it looks like. It's almost there. because this is just straight cream cheese. There's nothing added to it yet, so It says to beat it till it's fluffy. I'm just trying to break it all up and make sure it's nice and smooth. So bear with me just a couple more seconds and then we'll be ready. Make sure it stops before you lift the tilt head or bad things will happen. It's funny, I was talking to my daughter on the phone last night. She's 33 and she lives in Duluth, Georgia with her little dog Fluffy. Hi Fluffy, hi Devin. And I came across this recipe and I said, Devin, I think you'd like this. You know, in a true form, as you know, as a child would respond. She said, really? Would I really? And so I texted it to her and she's like, well, that doesn't sound bad. I changed this, this, and this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Okay, so let me take this off. So I've changed it, not incorporating all of her responses or comments, but anyway, a few. So it's nice and soft. Oops, sorry. And what I'm going to add to that is, now in the original recipe, you'll see that they used vanilla, but I didn't want to use up all my expensive vanilla because this is just a test for you guys, just something fun. Is I have this raspberry emulsion. And it's strong, so you have to be careful. Got cream cheese on my glove. You have to be careful how much you use because otherwise it'll be too strong. And if you watch the video from the other day, don't pour it over the bowl because bad things can happen by accident. You always want to start a little bit light. Like this is 1/4 teaspoon. And it's raspberry, and so you're thinking what should be red? But it's not. Can you see that? I'm trying really hard not to spill it. So I've got the raspberry, I'm putting that in there. Now, if you wanted to put in some food coloring just for for color so people will get the idea, you could certainly do that. I usually like to try and have the color along with the flavor just so, people can make that connection, their thought and the taste and they, get what it is right away. But I'm not going to put red in it for this example. And then the next thing is the heavy cream. Now I'm going to pour that in, and this is 1/2 cup of heavy cream. It's like every recipe has heavy cream or cream cheese in it. Stick with me, it won't be that way always. I'll find other recipes. And then the last thing I'm going to put in, it's kind of weird doing this backwards. I'm usually not on this side of the counter, but I want to show you something here so you can learn something as well as have a yummy recipe. I used to do a blog maybe a couple years ago, and I was doing it every week, and it just got to be too much. So one of the things I talked about in the blog was measuring correctly. So what I've got here is powdered sugar in my commercial grade container, and I've got 1/3 cup. And what you don't want to do is take your cup and scoop it down and fill it up and think that life is good, because you'll end up getting too much in your cup. So I've got a spoon here, and I'm going to spoon it into there. And you want to do the same thing with flour, because in professional baking, usually we weigh everything anyway, but in most American recipes, everything is just in cups and 1/2 cups and so forth. Now I can give it a gentle shake. I forgot to bring a knife into the shot, so I'm just going to use the back of the spoon to level it. Wow, I did pretty good. Okay, and I've got my 1/3 cup, and then I'm going to go ahead and dump it in. And then I'm going to get this out of the way. And I'll turn the mixer back on. Now I'm going to turn the mixer back on slowly because I've got heavy cream in here, which is still very liquidy right now. So I'll go ahead and lock it, and then I'll turn it on slow. And now I can speed it up a little bit. Oh my goodness, this mixer's cracking me up. It sounds pained. I'm so used to using the other one, which is so much stronger. or the little handheld one, but this one is just, it works. It's just kind of funny. Okay, I'm gonna give it just a little more whip and then I'll show you what it looks like. Let me lock it. Now you can play around with the consistency. You know, it's got heavy cream in it, it's got whipped cream, so the more you whip it, you don't want to over whip it, you know, the more it's going to tighten up, and then if it even makes it to the refrigerator, then it's also going to get firmer, you know, there as well. So you can whip it a little bit more if you like, or like I just stopped right here, and I'll pull this out of here and get that out of the way and show you what it looks like. So here's what it looks like. So it's rather thick, not super thick, but considering I poured whipped cream into there, which was totally liquid, that's pretty good. Now at this point I would usually stop and taste it to make sure I like the flavor and I think it has enough raspberry in it, you know, whatever flavor you added. But I just want to go ahead and finish this off and show you a couple tricks along the way. Now, the way this was originally written, I said it was cheesecake nachos, so you could put a bed of graham cracker crumbs, and, or excuse me, graham crackers, and then put the dip, just layer it on top of it. What I thought would be a little bit more fun is to do the following. I took a half a cup of coconut, and I toasted it in the microwave. So I've got my half a cup, and I left it on the paper towel because I wanted to show you guys, otherwise I would forget to mention it. I just toasted it in the microwave on the paper towel because I didn't have any paper plates because I never use them. I just toasted it for approximately a minute. You have to watch it because each microwave is different and it will burn very quickly if you're not careful. So what I'm going to do is I've got my fancy little cup here, or a little glass. I think maybe it's a wine glass or it's a goblet, but I think it's beautiful, so I want to use it. And then I'm going to put in some of the cheesecake dip that I've got all over my gloves. Well, that's why I wear the apron, so I can wipe it on the apron. Okay. Now you can put this in whatever you want. I'm just going to shake it. Since this is glass, I'm not going to bang it on the counter. That wouldn't be the best idea. Do that though. Kind of gets it settled down a little bit. Now you have two choices. You can mix the coconut in, or you could just layer. So I'm just going to sprinkle the coconut on top. And coconut is one of those love-hate things. A lot of people are like, oh my goodness, I hate coconut, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you don't like coconut, then leave coconut out. That is totally fine. And then, as soon as I find what I did with them, oh, I've got some mini chocolate chips. So in my little bowl. And I can sprinkle those on top. Now that's what I was saying, if you wanted to mix these in, you could have totally stirred these in the batter, and that would work too. Now I put a lot of cheesecake on the first layer, on the bottom, but if I would have gone a little lighter, then, you know, I could layer it if I wanted to. And then there's raspberry flavoring in here, so you could put raspberries on the top if you choose. I just had some strawberries, and I'm putting these on top. You always want to put your fruit on like right before serving. I mean, don't put it on like a, you know, a day before or something, because, you know, your berries will just get runny and just leak into whatever it is you're making. So don't try and do that ahead. And I'm just laying these on around the edge, just so you can see the red from the edge, because it's super pretty. Now I cut them all a little bit different. Okay. Oops, that one's a little bit bigger than I thought. And then I'll just put a layer on the top, so you can see the cut berries. Then if you want to finish it off, you could just take a berry, which I've sliced already, and just put that on the side. So I call that the Raspberry cheesecake dip. I think that was what I labeled it. And I have raspberry flavoring inside the cheesecake batter. And then I just layered it with strawberries, toasted coconut, and mini chocolate chips. As I said, you could stir those in if you want to. I just kind of layered it in the glass. If you want to, then just to finish it off, because I don't think you'd really want to take a spoonful of this, you just put it on a beautiful little tray, and then you have your graham cracker chips. I want to keep calling them chips, graham crackers, and then you could just dip it in, and then you'd be good to go. So I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. As I said, please like, comment, and share. I would love if you would do that so more people can join us as we have fun in the kitchen together. And I will see you guys next time.